And today, we have Deadstock Barbershop. Alright, Mr. Manyweather is in the building, alright? Today we'll be grading this barber from an A to an F, alright? A being the best that he could be. You can't get no better. So without further ado, let's jump on in and see if he has what it takes. Blended. Yes, 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 yes. He put a smile on my face with the blend. Put a smile on my face with the blend and the cut crisp. Blending. Get them bulk lines out, man. Taking that extra step, going above and beyond. Look at that symmetry on around the ear though. Not a lot of people got that symmetry around the ear. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Crispy around that edge. Straighter than what Get Beam says. I flip the ruler on the straight of the ruler straighter than the ruler. Y'all can do the y'all know it. Y'all know how I Get Beam do it. Guidelines is neat. That's what I'm talking about. Fault line, crispy. You know what I mean? Nice and neat. The next step, nice and neat. This is barbering at its finest right now. This is what I like to see. This what makes me happy, man. See somebody give out good cuts. Yes. 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 And I gotta slap my man, Mr. Manyweather, with the A out the gate, man. You already know, man. Clean cuts. Yeah, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Y'all heard that, man. Give your boy an A. Now, getting right back to it. I'm Christopher Manyweather with Deadstock Barbershop. Welcome to the channel. And I make videos to help you take your career the furthest in the shortest amount of time. So I'm gonna put y'all onto this technique right here. It's called finger over clipper. But what I'm doing, I'm just feeding the hair into the clippers because the hair is a little long. So what I'm showing right here is 3 sections. You got the hair parting, the stationary blade, and the moving blade. If the hair does not reach the moving blade, you will not be cutting any hair. You have to make sure that you're taking it up high enough. That steel blade does not cut anything. Too often I see guys post haircuts like this and they just didn't go high enough towards the hair parting with the moving blade so that they can get all the hair and clean it up in that section. So here's a list of all the clippers that I used to create this look today. No, these are not required for this look. You can get it done with just one of these clippers and one of these trimmers, but I like to use all my tools. So here you go. My channel has been growing like crazy. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you guys subscribe and like these videos. Turn on your notifications so you can get more content like this. So this area that I circle right here is just his hair is thinning on both sides, and so it's less dense there. The amount of hair that is in that area is less than the rest of his head, so it stands out. All right, so I'm setting my guideline with my wall 1919s. They are 0 gapped. And if you notice, I'm actually taking the shape of his head. He wants at kind of a higher fade, but due to his head shape and the hair parting, I had to improvise. Because if I gave him a high guideline, then it wouldn't give me the desired look at the end that I'd like to see with this kind of cut. So if you watch my videos before, you know that I like to preach, man, have a system. The system that I like to show pretty often is open, halfway, quarter, close. It's important to have a system because it keeps you from getting lost in a cut. It'll help you stay on time. It'll help you stay structured and organized while you're cutting. It should never be a time where you can't tell me how to recreate that haircut. If you're just aimlessly wandering around through a haircut and you're just doing this and doing that, but you can't tell me how to duplicate it, then you won't put out a consistent haircut. Skill is built through repetition. The more you do it, the better you'll get. So develop a system and practice, practice, practice. Put up those jump shots. So the reason a lot of you guys' blends aren't coming out the way you desire is because you're simply not going up high enough. Make sure that you're taking the moving blade up high enough, not just the steel blade. It's the same thing like I mentioned earlier with the hair parting. That top line is the same thing like the hair parting. Make sure you're getting up close enough to it with it halfway open. And as you can see, I don't go to the next panel until I finish out my current section. Fade it out, finish it, and then you move up and create your next guideline. That way your work is nice, clean, crisp, and smooth. So setting in my next guideline or my next panel, I'm going to use my masters all the way open with no guard on it. Same system after that, I'm going to halfway and I'll close it. And if I have to go in between while detailing, I will. So along with finding the system that works for you, I suggest trying everything. Watch a lot of videos, a lot of tutorials, see what people are doing, and you attempt it and you take what you want out of that and try it. You know, that's what developing your own system looks like. So for me, I've been cutting like this since barber school, you know, and I've gone away from it. I've tried a bunch of different things, but I realized that what works best for me is I like using my babblers or my wall clippers, and then I like finishing it with my master clippers, and that's how I put my best work out. So just see what works for you. So remember when I said his hair was less dense in the front? Check that out. So even though it's all the same length, it just took it lower right there. So you're gonna have to blend that out, work around it, fade it in without changing the overall look of the haircut. But what you don't do is panic. Yeah, man, you just keep working. So I see the spot, I know it's there. I just know I gotta fade around it, so I'll get to it. Once I get to the next section, I know I'll have to lighten it up around it so that it blends in more. So this is my purple zero guard, halfway, quarter close, just as needed. So right now I'm kind of working around that spot, and I'll detail it out more, but I'm just looking for any dark spots and just kind of blend everything in, make sure that it looks smooth, using those 2-3 teeth on the corner of the clippers. And like I say, man, stick with the system, trust the system, it won't fail you. So I'm just spinning ahead and I'm looking for any major dark spots, anything that really stands out to me, just changing my vantage point, changing my view, my angle, so I can do the best work. Detail, detail, details. This is where great haircuts are birthed. You know, if you're not putting in the time to detail, then your haircut is not gonna look the way that you want it to look. And don't get me wrong, when I say putting in the time, I mean the actual time that it takes to cut hair. So if it takes you 30 minutes to cut hair, make sure that you spend some of that time detailing your haircut. So for me, this haircut and beard service is scheduled for, I think, 30-45 minutes. And it only took me 24 minutes to record this video. I was done from start to finish with this haircut in that amount of time. If any of you guys are looking to grow your clientele, grow your business, build your brand, and you just want some all-around great nuggets that'll help you grow in this industry, make sure you guys are checking out my videos. I just dropped a video last week with a device called Popple. It is a virtual business card. Check it out. It's a great video. Let me know what you guys think. Normally I just speed up through this process because I've already done the other side of the head, but I really want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing, what I'm looking for in a haircut when I'm looking to fade something out, and just kind of give you my vantage point. And if you guys can point out anything that I missed, man, put it in the comments below. Let me know if I could have did better. As you see, there were some dark spots up there that I felt like could have been lightened up a little more. So I'm just, like I said, this is the detail. The proof is in the pudding, man. If you put in the work, man, it's gonna come out the way you want it to come out. Using my trimmers, I'm gonna ball this out as well as blend it into the area where I initially made my guideline with my walls closed. And using the same steps and techniques that I did to fade his hair, I'm gonna use those to fade the beard. All the way open, halfway, quarter closed, it does not change. So my guy, he got a pretty thin beard. So what I like to do on my beards is I'll set that line on there, but it's not my finished product. I'm not looking to have a super detailed line initially. I'm just gonna put it in and then I'll clean it up as far as the top and the back of that line. Underneath, I'll go ahead and clean it up pretty well, spend some time on there. I just know how I cut. I'm gonna go over the top a couple times with the razor and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not concerned with getting the sharpest line initially. Same thing with the edge up, starting in the middle and working my way to the left. His edge up is a little thin in the front, like right in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that. I guess it's not necessarily thin, it's more so that they were able to catch most of the hair in there. Just getting a rough draft edge up in there, and I'll touch it up again. Same thing on the left side of the face, or your left, my right. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Just make sure that I'm balling it out, cleaning it up, detail behind the ears. I get a lot of guys who the barbers really never clean up behind their ears, so it kind of trained me. When I hand them the mirror, the first thing they do is they look behind those ears. Pay attention to your customers and what they're doing, you know. Because then if you're not making those mistakes, they'll know that, oh, this guy, he cares. This guy is different, you know. I know some of you guys struggle with the beard and mustache, you know. One thing that I can just say is, you know, find out exactly how your customer likes it. Some want it like raised up off the lip. Some people don't. Some people just want it barely cleaned up over the lip. And so just make sure that you're asking. You'll see me ask him, how do you want the inside done? You want to leave it natural, or do you want a straight line across the bottom of your beard? You know, and he said leave it natural. But I make sure I always ask people their preference. So I've already gone in with the trimmers, but like I said, as you can see, I can put a much cleaner line with this razor. And guys, nothing has changed. Make sure that you're stretching the skin, pull it away from you, and use the razor properly. That's the way that we were trained in school. If you've gone to school, if you haven't, this is how we were trained. So make sure if you're practicing this at home, that you're stretching the skin. Stop all this one-handed, you know, razor stuff that I'm seeing people do on social media. And one thing about me, I could be working on a different part of the head, but my eyes are wandering. I'm always looking at something different. So things are popping out at me as I'm cutting hair or as I'm edging up, and I'll just grab my clippers and go straight in and clean that section up. And what I'm doing now is I'm working on that spot again. And one thing that you're gonna notice, the more you watch my videos, you'll see that I really don't use a lot of enhancements. I know how to use them, I'm good at using them, but my clientele doesn't require it. You know, every now and then I get a few people who ask for it, and other than that, I don't do it on every haircut. So you'll see a bunch of natural haircuts. and I'm not against them at all. You know, all my friends use them and I enjoy it. I think it makes the haircut look a lot better, but I just don't get to do it a whole lot. Here it is. This is the finished product, man. I thank you guys for sticking around, watching this whole entire video. I hope I was able to help you. Hope you were able to learn. Make sure you guys subscribe and check out some of the other videos I got posted. Thanks. God bless.